There are reports that King Charles ruined Harry's chances of living at Windsor Castle. Is this correct or not? If this is true, it proves that the royal family really hates and resents Harry. So surely UK people as well as royal fans will boycott Harry. But in reality, why does Prince Harry receive more attention than Prince William? All will be revealed in this video. Hello everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel. No matter if Harry and Meghan lived in Windsor Castle or not, King Charles had no influence over the situation. It would appear that Meghan was dissatisfied with the living arrangements that were going to be made for them after they got married. Frogmore Cottage was offered to them as an alternative to living in Windsor Castle after the late Queen stated that it would not be proper for them to reside there. The narratives begin to differ at this point. According to one account,
Meghan was upset that the Queen had turned down her simple request.
According to the other, Harry was the one who was upset. No matter what happened, Meghan was under the impression that the Queen was providing them with Frogmore House, which was a more spacious and sophisticated residence. When Meghan learned that the Queen had offered them the lease on Frogmore Cottage rather than the house, it was too close to the wedding for her to refuse the offer, so Harry accepted it. Meghan believed that the Queen had treated her improperly on a personal level. It was this incident that marked the beginning of her downward spiral with the British royal family. It was not something that Meghan was accustomed to, and particularly not by a 90-plus-year-old woman, to have everything she desired denied to her. As of this moment, the Queen was fully aware of the real personality that Meghan possessed, as opposed to the personality that Meghan was attempting to portray, as well as how she dominated Harry, at the same time as Meghan wanted the short-term thrill of being the rising star of the family. I believe that the Queen was playing the long game. Meghan 0. The late Queen 1 was the winner in the end. It was clear that Meghan was not content, and she made sure that Harry was aware of her state of mind. The current king, when he was then the Prince of Wales, was not the one who ruined Prince Harry and Meghan's plan to live in Windsor Castle. Rather, it was Her Majesty the later Queen who was responsible for the situation. Honestly, it's easy to understand why Meghan often does such evil things, because her mind is not good. Meghan Markle's jealousy is too great, shown through many of her actions and reactions, showing complex and negative personalities. It seems that Meghan has always wanted power and fame. Meghan seems to always seek attention and a prominent position in the royal family. This desire is not simply a desire to be recognized, but also a competition to occupy someone else's position. This shows jealousy, as she is not satisfied with what she has and always wants more, even if it may cause conflict and tension in the family. Meghan is always jealous of others. Meghan seems to constantly compare her life and position with other members of the royal family, especially William and Catherine. This comparison creates feelings of dissatisfaction and self-imposed pressure, leaving her in a constant state of stress and dissatisfaction. Of course, the person suffering is also her, because in reality, if she was jealous of her Auntie Catherine wife at Kensington Palace, the palace could not immediately become hers. But psychological discomfort and jealousy will always follow her, causing her to have a very gloomy life. Furthermore, jealous people often have strong reactions when they do not get what they want. Meghan was described as angry and offended that her demands were not met. This dissatisfaction and hurt feelings indicate a high level of jealousy, as she cannot accept not getting what she wants. It proves that Meghan is mentally unstable and cannot control her emotions. It would be better for her to see a psychologist. Back to the story. Meghan had apparently wanted Kensington Palace newly refurbished with its 20-something rooms. Prince William had spoken to his father and his grandmother that due to Meghan's behavior, he did not want her there next to his wife and children. However, then Harry and Meghan had been going on about Windsor Castle because, in the heart of the city, it would be beautiful when she redesigned it. She had made comments to A-listers and other friends that she would make parties there for them to visit, barbecues and fireworks, and a chic place to live in. Harry was duly sent to tell his grandmother to get at least 20 rooms at the castle for her post-wedding move. Windsor Castle is home to the Queen. She and her sister Margaret and her parents, the King and Queen, stayed there during World War II as it really is fortified. During COVID, she lived in its protective walls. No way would Her Majesty the Queen Elizabeth want them living there. She told Princess Anne and then Prince Charles about Harry's request. They were both horrified. They all were wary that if Meghan moved in, it would be terrible shifting her back out. Once Meghan stayed at William and Catherine's country home, Anmer Hall, she was very determined to get the same kind of valuable property as befits her station. Allegedly, I might add, that's what started the rot. The shine went off Harry's new squeaky toy wife, never to come back. Luckily, the Queen quickly figured out that Meghan was a piece of trash and put her foot down. Harry and Meghan were given everything, and it still wasn't good enough. Too bad. Too sad. I wish Harry would leave her and go back to the UK where he belongs. Of course, on his hands and knees, begging for forgiveness. He threw his family under the bus, and he knows that time will tell. So after all, do you wonder why Prince Harry receives more attention than Prince William? Meanwhile, I'm sure William is loved by more people. Isn't this too contradictory and confusing? Right? To be honest, Harry and Meghan have two public relations teams working for them. They are responsible for coming up with any stories they can think of in order to keep the name of Harry and Meghan in the news. It is as if they are simply repeating the same stories over and over again. Or, at each and every regal occasion, they shall generate the will that they will not.
The paparazzi and rag magazines really need Harry to return to the royal family.
For many years, Harry was the liker from the palace. It has been decades since he has been selling them out. In order to bring Harry and the royal family back together, they are the ones taking the initiative. They have an urgent need for confidential information regarding Charles and Catherine's health. Lastly, because Harry is no longer a working royal, the royal family does not place a high value on him personally. Because William is the heir and the next king, Harry will never be as significant as William. William is the royal heir because of the events and engagements that he participates in as a working royal and the attention that he brings to his charitable organizations. William is covered by the British media and the paparazzi at all times. The reason that Harry pays for regular reports about him and Meghan to keep their names in the headlines is because he wants to be seen as one of the most important people in the world. Much like William. Nevertheless, he is not, he has never been, and he will never be. Harry continuously manipulated the media with two public relations teams, constantly creating stories to maintain his and Meghan's presence in the news. To evaluate, it is clear that this action is not only dishonest, but also shows cruelty in continuously attracting public attention with stories that may not be entirely accurate or necessary. Additionally, the fact that Harry was accused of being a leaker from the palace for many years shows his betrayal, lack of loyalty, and ethics in his willingness to sell out his family for personal gain. Harry's obsession with fame, as he craves to be considered one of the most important people in the world, has pushed him to pay for regular reports about himself and Meghan, demonstrating his self-esteem, low self-esteem, and an unhealthy obsession with reputation. Not only that, Harry and Meghan seem to regularly create or participate in controversial stories at royal events, creating attention and drama, tarnishing their image and creating tension. Not needed in the family. More worryingly, Harry is said to have used other people's situations and emotions, including Charles and Catherine's health problems, to attract attention, demonstrating a lack of ethics and insensitivity. Finally, Harry's rivalry with his brother William, the heir to the throne, shows his lack of fairness and selfishness as he cannot accept his true position. In short, Harry's actions and attitudes as described in the passage show an evil nature, always ready to use any tricks to maintain public attention and satisfy his pride himself, damaging the royal family and weakening public trust in him. In general, it all stems from Harry not being confident in himself and having a scheming wife like Meghan. The two come together to create serious consequences. Doing unacceptable things, the more bad things he does, the more Harry proves his incompetence and uselessness. But on the contrary, William becomes more loved by everyone. So in short, those actions had no effect on William and Catherine. What Meghan and Harry received was just wasted money and effort. Well, that's all for today's video. Thank you very much for watching our video, and I want to know what you think about these issues. Please express your opinion in the comments below. Hope you will always be cheerful and happy. Don't forget to support us by liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel. Goodbye and see you again in the next videos.